Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today with a little bit of a different video. In a sense, I made like a deck with, hear me out, it's somewhat of an FTK kind of thing, but not really, because to be fair, it is super disruptible, and it's mainly, I was just mixing up some engines together, and I found out that you can make quite the weird stuff with this one. And the goal of this deck is basically to get your opponent to be Droll&Lock reincarnated about like 50 to 70% of the time. But this deck is like very bad against any kind of hand traps. Like any hand trap totally stops this deck because you draw a lot in the time and so on. So this is a big problem. This is in nowhere competitive, and I just want to show out how the engines work together and how you actually can create like some kind of synergy there that then leads to you hand looping your opponent in some cases, which I mean, it's not really fun, but I feel like it's more fun to build those kind of decks and showcase them than to actually play them, because it's like, yeah, doing about the same most of the time, but there's actually some thinking in it, and there's actually like some neat little things that you can do with it. Starting off, we're on like a lot of tags for draw spells like Trade-In, Allure of Darkness, Destiny Draw. They work for all three of them, so they're quite neat. If you don't get your thing out, you can still play Plasma or something. Maybe some decks will have a problem against that. I don't know. This can be a thing. You're on double Malicious, you're on double Candina to search your light stage or to search your reincarnation. It's either deck thinning, or you really want to have 1 up to 2 reincarnations on the field. You run Magical Abductor to search your Droll&Lock bird, since you have 24 spells. That works pretty well. You run 1 Droll&Dark. You don't really need them, but you kind of need like more darkness monsters and more like Destiny heroes in the deck, so that works out for that. You could go into Sword Yugioh with this card in a specific setup, technically, so there's that. And one of the cards that make this thing work is the Draw Hand guy, because the Draw Hand is, you can special summon in your opponent's standby phase, then make both players draw a card, and with that, obviously, Droll&Lock bird can trigger. If you then chain Reincarnation, the whole thing happens. You get this card easily into the graveyard with cards like Destiny Draw, with Foolish Burial, or with the new Destiny Fusion. And this is where some other kind of shenanigans come into play. With the Destiny Fusion, you can get the Dominance, whatever, Dominate, get out. And his effect is you can look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck or your deck. And if you look at your deck, it's quite possible that you hit one of the combo pieces that you want. And since then, if you have sent Malicious to the graveyard as well for the summon of it, then you can go into the extra hero Cross guy. With Cross guy, then Malicious on the field, you can with Cross guy on the field, you can actually like reincarnate the draw hand, then draw the card that you just like set up with the Dominate guy, and already be prepared to the next turn. Then with the Cross guy, you can search stuff. If you still have a trade-in hand and no target, you can get rid of the draw hand for a level 8 monster, for in general any monster that you want, so your draw spells aren't that wasted as well. So there's a little bit of a synergy in that as well. I basically run all this kind of shenanigans because you don't really need much. Trap Trick is good if you really didn't draw into your reincarnation combo and so on, because you have 2 normal summons in this deck, Candina and Abductor, so you kind of want to get the reincarnation without normal summoning Candina most of the time, but if you can't, then that's fine as well, but that's just the thing. You don't really care about stuff like 1D of Peace, because you don't really care if your opponent draws a card if you manage to hand loop them, so there's that. Card destruction, just like a new shuffle thing. You don't really want to fill up your opponent's graveyard, because then he'll still have some effects that you can do in some decks. It's just like another combo thing that gets you there. Into the Void doesn't work because you want to have Droll&Lock bird in your hand at the end of the turn, so this is like stuff that doesn't really work. But other than that, this deck works pretty neatly, and you actually can somewhat consistently, if you call like 50 to 70% success rate consistent, then I guess it works. You can hand loop your opponent, which is, yeah, don't play this. I just want to showcase the engine, and maybe someone here can pick this up and make something actually fun and interesting out of this, or make it super consistent, and everybody is going to hate this deck in about like a few months, but I don't think so. I don't think you can make this way more consistent than it is. But if you do, if you have any ideas, let me know as well, because I'm very interested in that. If you have any other ideas, I'm going to showcase some actual Trickstar Destiny Hero deck profile soon, because I feel like there is some cool combo in it that you actually can play, that actually can be quite neat as an actual working deck that has plays. So there's going to be that, and I'll start a new series on my channel about like card discussions, where I pick out 1 card combos that are just ridiculously strong in the game in general, where you can do so much with it. and that partially underrated as well. I'll start that in a few days, so stay tuned with that, and hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day.